Oh, hello, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotseben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two dear friends of ours, Tiago.
Hello.
And Rose.
Hi.
If you are just getting started with the series, don't forget, Dessy and I are longtime fans of Ace Attorney. We've played nearly every game. And Rose and Tiago have never played any of the games before until now. And we are playing through literally every game in the series, including side games. And we've been making our way through game 1, which is titled aptly Wright, Ace Attorney. And we've done the first two cases, and now we are getting into case 1-3, Turnabout Samurai. This one is, just for like the basic summary here, is that Maya Fey calls Phoenix Wright and says, "Hey, I got a great idea. You should get involved in this murder case that happened on my favorite TV show." And Phoenix is like, "This is a TV show. This isn't real, Maya." And she's like, No. Turn on the news right now. An actual murder happened on this TV show. And this is the Steel Samurai, which is a tokusatsu style show, or Power Rangers, if you are not acquainted with toku. People in suits beating up other people in rubber suits.
Classic.
And so they go to the studio. They meet their client, who is Will Powers, the guy in the Steel Samurai outfit. And he's been accused of murdering his co-star, Jack Hammer, who plays the villain. So this one is our first 3-day case. So there are 6 phases overall to this game, which is made up of 2 pairs of investigation phase and then a courtroom phase. So you have 3 of those back to back. And you get a lot of walking around at the movie studio where they're filming, and you get back into the courtroom, and you get a decent amount of time with kind of some of the mainstays of the series here, which are mainly Edgeworth and Gumshoe here, as well as your, good friend Maya Fey, who is now officially in your your sidekick, slot now. She goes with you pretty much everywhere. So yes, Wright and Co. offices.
She is the co, I'm assuming.
Yes. So yeah, let's jump right into it. After the high stakes of case 2 with, Red White having politicians and police and governments under his thumb, we just get to investigate a murder on a TV show. I guess we'll start with Rose. What did you think of this episode just from like a overhead perspective here?
All right.
Broad strokes.
There were some things I loved, and there are some things that I got pretty tired of. Low point was definitely walking back and forth up and down the road at the studio. Being unable to go from like one studio to the other. Like, oh, I gotta go all the way back out to the front entrance and then back down the street, and I misclicked a bunch of times, and I found myself getting a little frustrated. Yeah, I feel like that might be a common problem for all of us. Several high points though. Detective Gumsh is my hero. He saved me from gangsters.
Yeah.
What else was fun? Miles Edgeworth said some pretty gay shit in the wrap-up scene,
Yeah.
which is a highlight. And I think I may know now what was being referenced in the previous episode. Mrs. Old Grandma Lady was my ultimate highlight. She was so much.
Old bag.
Really
yeah.
liked Old Bag. The Old Bag.
I laughed out loud multiple times. So I think that was my high point. Was, oh, I see, this is the character that I was meant to meet. I feel like it was a good dynamic from the last case. We went from like being so annoyed with Edgeworth because he was like such a jerk, just an absolute fucking bastard. And now he's getting bullied by this old woman, and I felt like that was good catharsis for me. I do think this should have been the second case instead of the third case because the stakes are so much lower, but on the other hand, that was funny to see after I spent so much time being annoyed at him that he spends the entire case getting bullied.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a lot of good in-betweens with him and Phoenix and whoever was on the stand at the time.
Oh, yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
Mrs.
between
Old Bag.
Yeah, Old Bag and Cody, the fanboy, Cody Hackins. Like all the interactions between them are really, really good because you suddenly realize that Edgeworth's facade that he puts up of him being totally in control of the courtroom can crumble in an instant with the wrong witness.
Yeah.
And he had two in this case that were giving him absolute hell between Cody and Old Bag.
When he objects and then goes, I was hoping I would come up with something a question while I was objecting. It was so relatable because that's all I've been doing. And now I know,
honestly.
I know that's all he's been doing too.
I mean, that is just the Ace Attorney way. There are so many instances.
Coming into it, I don't know. Did you guys feel like that Edgeworth came off as who he wanted to in the first two cases, and suddenly you realize it's not like that?
Yes, I
He's
definitely
just doggy paddling through all of this too.
Well, so like in the first case, it was just against the murder of Maya Fey and with Red White because he wasn't there during the
Mia,
first.
Yeah,
Mia.
Yeah.
I keep fucking doing that. Jesus goddamn Christ.
It's okay.
The second case
I
was Mia. Yeah,
still do it.
Yeah. The first case it was that guy Winston Payne and he sucks, so we forget about him instantly.
already gone.
They won't let you. He comes back every game.
Oh yeah,
I'll be surprised every time.
I think in this one in particular, like it's kind of bizarre how like we went from the second case of big stakes, this is a man who has people under his thumb, to this is a murder at your local television channel. I guess it wasn't a local television channel. Global Studios, the name of the studio that fucking the Steel Samurai works at, was like, I guess they're kind of like I don't know if it's supposed to be Toei level of like tokusatsu, because like it seems
nationwide still.
Yes,
right?
it does seem nationwide, yes. But like as someone who like watches some tokusatsu, here's the thing is that I don't want to claim that I'm a big Kamen Rider fan, when in reality the only Kamen Rider I actually bothered finishing was W, and like I get like halfway through any of the new modern series. So like it's kind of bizarre to compare this to Kamen Rider when it's like a completely different aesthetic, but it is in essence tokusatsu.
I mean it's dudes in suits, but yes, as far as like actual content compared to something, yes, like Kamen Rider, it's fairly different. I will say, your opinion, Tiago, on the outfits here. What do you think of the Steel Samurai?
What do I think about the Steel Samurai?
Yeah, is he cool? Is he cool and heroic and a defender of justice, as Cody Hackins would say? Or no?
Well, here's the thing. I think he looks lame as fucking shit. Like, I think that's the point, right? Is that he's supposed to be this, like, incredibly lame dude that, like, only 3 people in the fucking case actually enjoy. Fucking Maya Fey, Cody Hackins, and the assistant Penny Nichols are, like, the only 3 fucking fans of this production.
You see, I noticed there was another fan.
Who?
It was Edgeworth. He said he was a fan.
But that was a bit. That's not true though. He's a fucking liar. He just said that to be polite.
I don't know.
I doubt that Miles Edgeworth has the heart to be a Kamen Rider fan.
That's true.
Fan.
He probably plays like croquet or whatever.
He probably only watches the Power
He watches fucking Downton Abbey.
That's correct. Holy shit.
I don't care for Downton Abbey.
To the listeners at home, just know that I am conveying a look to you, listener, if you are aware of future developments in the series. No, I'm not going to say one thing one way or the other. There are some interesting developments with what you guys are talking about, and that's why I'm really glad to be getting this perspective. I love hearing this.
Okay.
This is the shit that people want to hear.
What about the man under the mask that we were defending, Will Powers? He seems like a bit of a dope, but he's kind of a sweet dope, right?
Love him.
He's legitimately great. Like, he's just... There's the classic trope of the gentle giant, which I, think always works, because no matter what, you can't hate somebody. And, it kind of conveys that message of, hey, don't judge somebody till you see them. Of, Will Powers just, this dude who does look kind of menacing. He looks like fucking Sabretooth from X-Men. He is straight up,
That is legitimately what I thought every single time I saw him. That movie had come out when I was playing through that the first time, and I was like, oh, that's just Sabretooth.
And he's, legitimately just, a chill guy who cares about kids, and it's yes, the gentle giant with the heart of gold. This trope always works, because we always want to side with him.
I'm a sucker for it, I've gotta say.
Exactly. Andre the Giant and the Princess Bride. Wonderful girl. I think my grievances with this case are kind of different, because I straight up, I had no trouble navigating this, because my brain immediately understood how to, do it. And I was just like, alright, sweet, I know. I saw the map, and every time I was in the menu, I was just like, I remember the map, I know where to go.
Sounds like something somebody who knows how to read would say.
Well, fuck, dude. How do I respond to that? I'm sorry.
But before we started this call, you said, Rose, that you can read fast.
I didn't say I read good. And I did actually have
They're two different talents, you're not wrong.
I did have to at one point stop my playthrough and look something up. Because I thought I was missing something. It turns out that I was just not reading the names of the characters correctly. So I had them mixed up.
No. Go ahead, Tiago.
No, I was just gonna get into the breakdown of the case of the points where I had points negatives. But what were you gonna say?
Oh well, I was just gonna wrap up with the navigation aspect, which was that right now it's a hub and spoke style design for navigation, except it's just not visualized that way, right?
Yeah.
Which makes it a little harder to understand that, I have to go to point B to be able to reach point C and D, and then I have to go back to point B to reach point A. I can't go directly to A from point D.
I wouldn't mind a map, definitely, instead of just little buttons to press. Even if it was just a spoke map, a baby basic map.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a map one day.
There was a map. It was in your evidence.
An interactive map, but is what she means. But yeah, they do not ever jump to the map type of UI, but they do end up just condensing locations and having more things happen in a single location, right? And then they also just make it so that you can access any spot from any location over time. I think most of the original trilogy unfortunately sticks most with the hub and spoke design. I will have to get to it for me to refresh my memory, but I'm pretty sure that sticks around until some of the newer games on the DS, when they were coming out natively on the DS and 3DS. Then they start going okay, let's just let you go to any location from wherever you are anytime, and they just let you pick there, and that speeds things up that way and kind of gets you over that road bump then.
Wow, they learned.
Yeah.
They responded to criticism.
It does convey a sense of I know you were just trying to wrap it up, but I got one more thing to say about it. One more thing.
Yeah, just one more thing.
One more thing.
It does convey a sense of you actually traveling through this location. So I wonder if that was done in purpose to like, because a huge thing about this case is the fact that a path to Studio 2 was blocked off by the Mr. Monkey head, so that you can only get to Studio 1. Do you think they like introduced the like fact that you had to walk around like that in order to convey the fact that like traveling is an important part of this case? The Steel Samurai was seen going past the security guard going to Studio 1. So I wonder if that was like a decision in it. Or
I'm pretty sure it was intentional. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was intentional. I think you're pretty dead on that. It just becomes cumbersome when you add as many locations as this did.
Yeah.
And then, so when you realize, oh, I need to go back to the dressing room. I need to go back to Will's dressing room to meet this one guy after I got this other thing. And then once I talk to that person, all I got to do is talk to them for 5 seconds, and then they're immediately going to send me all the way back to the other side of the studio.
Yeah.
You're a little bit of just like, you feel like you're, running around trying to get from one place to the other. And you're like, am I just a gopher here?
Oh, absolutely.
And less of the feeling like, oh, I'm poking and prodding and investigating, this environment.
A little bit of the
sort of thing.
Fetch Quest vibe.
Yeah.
It was.
So it never becomes like overwhelming, I don't think personally, but yeah, no, I totally understand the complaints.
I think that I wonder if this was like just I was like, do I actually have a thought when I started this sentence? The answer was no, I don't have a thought about this.
You thought you would come up with a question while you were objecting, but you didn't.
Okay, yes, I do actually have a couple thoughts. Now that you say that, it actually became apparent to me. The thing about it is that like I like the 3 days of this case, because they bring up the 3-day case, right? They bring up the fact that like courts changed in this world, and like now every court case is solved in 3 days. So it like for us the player, it was broken up into 3-day chunks. The first day we like investigate, then we speak to Miss Wendy Oldbag. The second day we investigate some more. We talk to Cody Hackins and director Salmonella, who I fucking hate. And
yeah, actually that was the low point of this case. For
the
me.
low point
is him using leet speak
it was him
lusting over your teenage sidekick. It's not great.
My 17-year-old daughter, who
Yeah,
I'm adopting.
Gross. And then there's the third day where you finally speak to the producer, Miss Vasquez. I think that like the 3-day case makes in actual sense it seems fucking ridiculous. So like in the real world that'd be fucking stupid, and I'd be furious if my verdict was gonna be in 2 days.
Yeah.
Video game wise, thank fucking God, because I was like, I wonder if they're gonna have like a real life time skip when like Phoenix has to produce fucking evidence and like a month later or some shit like that. No, the video game is just like, you got 3 fucking days, don't fuck up, kid.
They were like,
just they layer that tension on.
They were like, let's fingerprint this, and I was like, oh cool, that'll be 2 weeks then.
Exactly, we gotta get shit fucking rolling.
Us who know how regular evidence collection works.
You gotta check. You gotta have some people check it, and then you gotta have a separate second set of team of people who've never talked to the first team of people check it again, and then they can tell you that maybe it's probably that person's fingerprints.
So like you guys said, like this really does each of the 4 witnesses each do like a different job of conveying like Miles Edgeworth's like sham of a facade, where like Miss Wendy Oldbag fucking ridiculed both the prosecutor in the court, or like straight up was just batting eyes or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, she liked him.
Yeah, she did like him.
The fucking glittery eyes the first time you see it, every time.
Fucking weirds me out.
I've seen it multiple times, but every time it's just like, she's just like, oh, and then her eyes get all glittery. Just sprite is so good.
That is how I feel
so
when
much.
I see Edgeworth, so I find it relatable.
The second person to the stand, director Salmonella, and he like almost does the job of like making Miles Edgeworth seem like a decent prosecutor again, because he's able to make this fucking incel speak like a normal person. And then Cody Hackins comes in and fucks that up by being the most insolent fucking child in a court, and makes Miles Edgeworth seem incompetent for being able to take care of a child. And then Pete Vasquez is there to completely just remove all semblance of authority this man has.
I'm getting the impression he's not good with women and children.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I say it out loud, he's not good with women or children, because he wasn't good with April May either. But, like, he was great with Red White. Huh. Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this keeps cropping up. I honestly don't remember if they make this like a through line here. I don't remember it sticking out in my mind, but now that you have said it, we'll have to pay attention to it as we keep going. Speaking of Cody, I have one little snippet that I'm going to pull up from Takumi's blog on the Capcom blog. And again, this is translated by Gyakuten Saiben Library .blogspot.com. They've done really great work translating all of these older blogs and interviews. And Takumi writes, "When you want higher ratings, bring out the kids and animals. I think I remember a talented TV director telling me this once. And so, a child as a witness. A child would lie about different things than an adult. This could work." And he brings this up because he was trying to find a new way to create like a different style of testimony. Like he wanted to shake things up, and he had used up all his ideas in case 2. So he thought, what if I had a child testify, because
the only thing worse than a murderer
is a child. Yeah. A child would have different things that they would lie about in a courtroom, right? And
they see the world differently.
Yeah, and so his hope was that you would have to, rather than just looking for standard contradictions, you'd have to be looking for ways to, prove that this kid is lying. And so in this case, the kid thinks that the Steel Samurai is actually the Steel Samurai and not an actor, right?
Yeah, it is real to him.
Did any of you find that difficult, like making that adjustment for cross-examining Cody?
I'm a little spoiled because I was on the stream, so I just got to see you do it.
Right.
I struggled a little bit with Cody, mostly because I kept trying to present his scrapbook, because I was like, all right, he takes photos of everything. Surely the scrapbook is the answer. But it was apparently I had to do the camera first and then the scrapbook.
Right.
But once I figured that out, I was fine. Although I don't think I quite figured out his deal. I just sort of bumbled my way into it.
No, that's all right.
I did laugh at the visual gag though. If they show him and his sprite is like the very top of his sprite and have to get him a box. That also made me laugh. I thought that was funny, very funny.
It is very, very good.
The donut crate.
Yeah. I think there's also a bit of just like the year it was set is that it was 2001 and he has a digital camera, and that's novel,
That's
and all
new.
I didn't have a digital camera.
Yeah, all the characters have to act like, they do act like it is a novel thing to have a digital camera, because it was written in 2001 when nobody, like not nobody, but having a digital camera, especially for a kid, would have been like...
It was like having the new iPhone.
Yeah. So, and yeah, iPhones weren't even until 2008,
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's one of those things where, when you have to present the camera as proof that he would be fiddling with the controls because he doesn't know how to work it, because it's a brand new camera of new technology kind of thing, and show that off to the court. And the judge is like, what kind of camera is this?
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the stream, I think I, like, at every opportunity presented the wrong fucking piece of evidence. Because I was like, I don't fucking know. If I keep throwing enough evidence at the court, eventually something makes sense. This guy's a kid. Why are we using a kid? This is fucked up.
Because he was the only one there.
He saw it.
Yeah, it never occurred to me. I remember there was the exact moment where Phoenix Wright realizes the reason Cody Hackett doesn't have the photo of the killing blow is because the Steel Samurai lost. And I remember, like, being like, what the fuck? Why is everyone acting so surprised? Tell me. You know, like, I was sitting there fucking dumbfounded like the audience, and then Phoenix is like, oh, by the way, stupid player, the reason that Cody Hackett...
No, like, part of that is also, like, there are different... I don't know if this is just me thinking and speculating. I did not feel like, when I was playing this game for the first time, that I was fully understanding the evidence that I was, like, producing at the time. Sometimes I was just doing it because I was lost, and you just happened to get the right thing.
Yeah.
And even if you are kind of shocked, or kind of like, I don't understand why this piece of evidence is important, they do end up explaining it to you then. And then your brain kind of goes back and fills in all those gaps that were missing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good feeling once you start to understand it, and that's part of the reason why the games are so good.
Well, yes, I agree. It's just that, like, it was one of those moments where, like, literally both Phoenix figured it out, and then Mia figures it out, and he's like, oh, Phoenix, I see that you figured out what I figured out. And I was like, alright, fucking, is anyone else...
I haven't figured out
I guess what I'm trying to say is, Tiago, that I too had that problem a lot.
I'm someone who
it's
does not
okay.
like... I don't like being left out of the goddamn loop. You know how upsetting it is when they do this in other games, and I'm like, alright, how fucking long are we to spend jerking each other's off knowing that everyone but the fucking player knows what's going on, you know?
It does happen multiple times.
Oh, let's get out. This is a detective story, or like a mystery game. There's no fucking way this isn't gonna happen again.
I can't think off the top of my head, but are there periods where Phoenix knows something, but the player doesn't?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and
100%.
that's definite. I can't think of one off the top of my head right this second. It'll come up, and I'll be like, oh, there it is. But yeah, that
I can think of an
absolutely
entire
happens.
game.
Oh dear.
But
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that happens. It happens, and I mean, it's just an interesting way. It's like, oh, I'm playing Phoenix. No, you aren't really playing Phoenix. You're still just like an outside character, just helping him along.
Yeah, you're the heart of Undertale.
I think
You're the hand of God.
I think of myself as a different ghost that's just sort of hanging out.
yeah, I mean, you're definitely like inhabiting his perspective, both like visually, and you get to see his interiority, right? You get to see his internal monologue. You see the world from his perspective. You're looking at all the characters as if you were looking at them from Phoenix's view, right? You know, you never see Phoenix third person when you're moving throughout the world, right? And that part of that is a result of these are the constraints and the traditions of visual novel style gameplay architecture. So we're operating within that. But I think the goal of some of those moments is to almost coax the player into thinking about the situation, and the dialogue and writing gets better at coaxing you as the series goes along. But I think that's the idea with those situations where Phoenix goes, I know what it is, or Mia, says, I know what it is. And, or even, if usually it's not Maya, but sometimes it's Maya too. And going like, okay, I've figured this out. Time to put we got to use that. And that is written in orange text.
Yeah, that is me save scumming to figure out which item they made.
Right.
I didn't have to. Everyone does it.
I didn't have to this case, but I was prepared.
Let's get into some other things here, because I have a few high level things that I wanted to bring up. One of those was how'd y'all feel about meeting Mia again?
Well, she was there
with the first encounter with Maya. Channeling Mia's spirit, and us and everybody just going like, that Maya, you could.
Were we not supposed to? I feel like that was supposed to be a thing that happens now, right?
It seemed a lot more casual, and I was kind of like, huh, well, she's here now.
I straight up assumed I was just gonna meet Mia again. It would seem fucking bizarre if they made that whole sprite and then was like, alright, that in the fucking drawer with you.
I mean, they made those titties real big for a reason.
They put way too much love and care into those.
Phoenix, it's me. Believe in yourself.
I had no fucking choice to. I think the thing that stuns me the most is that I didn't expect to walk around with Mia and like have her just all of a sudden become my like sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it would be a situation if I was just gonna make a random guess based on how game 2 went, is that Mia would show up like a Deus Ex fucking Machina whenever Phoenix was about to fucking get kicked in the goddamn shin.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she just like straight up is like, all right, let's go to the studio, and Phoenix is like, yeah, okay, sure.
He's surprisingly nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
I think my first thing would be like, hey, Mia, how's death? How's the fucking afterlife?
I did when we get that thing where you go back to the law offices, I did try to talk to her, and I was like, surely there's questions I can ask her, and there just weren't. They were like, what do you think I should do next?
You can ask her about the poster on the wall.
Oh, could I? I did not get that dialogue option.
Shit! I'm so pissed.
Oh, I'm fucked up, Tiago.
Unfortunately, she
says is she can't remember what the movie is.
Yeah. She's like, I love that movie, but I can't remember the title. And you're like, what?
It should be written on the poster.
Apparently it's not.
Alright, I have to assume that like her being in the afterlife is actively rotting her memory. And that's why she's like fucking delusional, and the only thing she cares about is the case at the current time. And she's like, this is all I can think about.
I'd like to think that she's just sort of like chilling, and then every now and then she's like, oh, I guess I better check on Phoenix and Maya. She's
just in heaven thinking about Phoenix.
She's like having a cocktail, and she's like, I better go see what's going on down there. You guys good? All right. Believe in yourselves. And then she leaves again.
Okay.
So, T-bone steaks.
Okay.
What's the deal with the fucking T-bone steaks? I mean, I know it ends up being like minorly important because you're like, there's no bone here, so obviously, did you eat the bone? But it's
I actually
so
did
funny.
record that. So like,
it's so funny.
I was where's the knife? Where's the knife for the steak, huh? Did not come up.
That's actually a super fucking valid point, Rose. Wow.
The forks and the knives. No, not important.
That's a real true crime detective way to think about it. So like, I think that this case had the most like ridiculous things that Phoenix Wright has said so far in a court case. Like, clearly the T-bone steaks were not eaten because there's no bones and stuff like that, right? And there's also like the fucking line where like he goes, clearly, what kind of killer uses a samurai slap? And like shit like that. So like, before it was a pretty serious case because it was like the death of your colleague and superior, Mia. And now it's like fucking Tokusatsu lady, and I feel like whatever Phoenix speaks were in a Kamen Rider episode. It was so fucking goofy.
I mean, this is in the end. This game is like still like 60% comedy. Like, remember, we got characters named Old Bag and Will Powers and Jackhammer. And, I mean, Old Bag. By the way, in Japan, she is named Obasan, as you might imagine. Of course, right? So. Yeah, no, I
don't know. I feel like that's something that's like a little less offensive than Old Bag.
It is. It's not a huge difference, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like, the funny thing is like, stakes come up in other Ace Attorney games later, so this is it's gonna be a thing, because man,
they're probably just like, this is the most American food we can think of aside from hamburgers. Just
right.
Steak.
Hot dog? No hot dogs? Hot dogs are so American.
I think it's because like hot dogs aren't translatable, right? Like if we see an empty plate, we're not going to assume that a hot dog was on a plate, right?
I mean, I don't find it weird that there was like steaks in this one, but I bet if it keeps happening, I'm going to find it weird, like Ben said.
I think that my thing is that like steaks. If you see an empty plate, almost anything can be on the plate, right? Like,
but if the food has a bone in it,
Exactly.
if the food has bone in it. But like now I'm just thinking about how I would eat a hot dog and the fact that like if you gave me a napkin, I would just down that glizzy right then and there.
please don't call it that.
I'm like, what can I call it? But
God. I'd like to continue eating hot dogs in my lifetime.
You can still eat it. You can still go down on the glizzy. I'm not stopping you. Listen, what I'm saying is that like maybe steaks are the thing simply because they really wanted to make this one American. Burgers, T-bone steaks. I can't wait to see what the big.
Was it T-bone steaks in Japan too? Because I know that like burgers, like ramen gets translated into burgers or something like that.
I just wanted to know if it was T-bone steaks originally in the Japanese version. Yes, it is.
It seemed like the bone was a noticeable,
a
minor point that I could make,
Right. Yeah. My suspicion is that it is purely from a mechanical perspective of we needed a piece of food that would have something left behind from it.
A bone.
And a T-bone steak leaves behind a bone,
That
it's
makes
in the
sense.
name, it's easy to communicate.
It could have been chicken wings, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why, and that was the first thing that Shu Takumi thought of when he was writing the game,
Mm-hmm.
And thought big masculine
it has the word bone in it
who have to keep up their muscle bulk, get their protein. Of course they'd be eating steaks all the time. Everybody's eating steaks in this movie studio. Yeah. Salmonella had a steak too.
Fucking Penny Nichols, that poor assistant made them for everybody. Made a T-bone steak for every person at that fucking studio.
Mm-hmm.
She made at least 6 T-bone steaks.
I guess, yeah, she must be a really good cook. I didn't think about that.
Fucking 6 T-bone steaks?
I feel bad because I saw her character design and I was like, oh, this character is designed to be like forgettable and unimportant. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of what I look
Damn,
like.
here I go coming and saying that she kind of looked like me though.
Well, that's exactly. I was like, man, if I had long hair, this is exactly what I would look like. So.
I actually.
Now, how about? Go ahead, Tiago.
I actually thought she was the fucking killer because she looked way too normal.
This is suspicious now.
You did say that. Yeah, I do remember you saying that.
Straight up, like, everyone else here looks like a huge freakazoid. And then there's Penny Nichols, the most normal person in the room, and I go, that's the killer.
It was you.
Yep.
There it is.
How about trading cards with her, though?
That was cute. No, I did like
I thought that was a fun bit.
I like that she became essential to the case. She was like, without her, this case would not have been solved. Literally, Will Powers would be brought in jail, or worse, the death sentence. I don't know if they have the death sentence in Ace Attorney.
They do.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
shit.
they were talking about how he was gonna die, and I was like,
Wait,
damn.
really?
Seems like a lot.
They got
Larry acted like he was gonna die. I don't know if he was actually gonna get the death sentence, but he acted like it.
You know what, Larry would be unlucky enough to get the death sentence. That's the thing, though, is that like, if it stinks, it's a bust,
I still don't know what that means.
It's just because his last name is Butts.
I mean, yeah, but like, what does it mean though?
If something around stinks, it's him.
We'll get some more context too. There's more context coming. Larry comes back.
Larry's gonna be a key witness in whatever the next case is, probably. So I don't know. I'm just making bullshit up. I have no idea. I straight up no idea. That's a cold shot from across the court.
On the record.
That's me pointing at the fucking stands as Babe Ruth.
Yep. All right. 2 weeks from today, folks. Check back in.
I do have some secret intel that this next case might be a festive seasonal case. So.
Yeah.
Wait, what? An effective seasonal case?
A festive seasonal case.
A festive seasonal case. Got it. I thought you said an effective seasonal case, and I was like, someone have allergies? Like, what's up? So like
That's game 3. Don't worry about it.
game 3, yeah, Alex.
I can't think that far ahead.
Lastly, then, D. Vasquez. As far as your cool girl boss, gaslight gatekeep character with ties to the mafia.
That was so fucking bizarre.
Aesthetically, yes.
Yes.
Everything else, I mean, I knew what she was supposed to be instantly, and she was that.
Yeah, she's given a lot of shorthand. She's not actually given a ton of characterization. She's just kind of like brusque and indifferent to you, and then threatening. And then the game's over.
I thought that she was gonna kill me, and then Detective Gumshoe came in and he saved my life. He's my hero. I love him.
This is actually the redeeming fucking factor to Gumshoe. Like straight up, getting fucking taken out from the mafia.
He swept me off my feet and rescued me. I love him.
D. Vasquez was the most like a Columbo villain I've seen so far.
Yeah,
she is
definitely.
Straight up like, I swear to God, I saw a Columbo episode with her in it as the killer.
Aesthetically, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't tempt fate nearly as much as a Columbo villain, though.
Oh yeah, no, she's explicitly like, I don't want to talk to anybody. She's what Columbo villains should do, which is, I'm fucking out of here.
This man has showed up into my house. I'm going to have him removed by my gangsters.
Yeah, like I'm fucking out of here.
Instead of like trying to like play a game of wits with him.
Although she does straight up have a game of wits with you in court.
I mean, yeah, but only because she fails to have me killed.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Plan B, game of wits. Plan A, murder.
Yeah.
So yes, after the entire classroom of Cromartie High School is defeated single-handedly by Detective Gumshoe.
Fuck you. That was my joke.
You didn't give me a chance to credit you.
Joke theft.
Damn.
But yes, we did that bit on the stream too. But,
go watch the stream.
Yeah, go watch the stream. Then we get to drag her into the courtroom, and we learn that this whole thing is some weird, like, it's happened once before and now it happened again, you know? Jackhammer pushed somebody, it unintentionally knocked somebody onto the spikes of this sharp fence several years ago. D. Vasquez held it over his head to keep him under her thumb the whole time. And then the same thing happened with her and pushing Jackhammer onto the spike, and then she blamed it on Will. And it's just, you think she just left that fence there because she wanted to use it again?
I know. That's, yeah.
The second I walked into that area, I saw that fence and I thought,
that seems dangerous.
That seems real dangerous. Let me examine that. And the characters are like, that seems dangerous. And I was like, this is going to be important later.
That's going to be important later.
The case turns out in which it turns out the Steel Samurai on footage was not even Will Powers as he was, but it was Jackhammer the victim. And then it turns out that Jackhammer the victim was trying to perpetrate his own murder out of revenge for, like,
he wanted to get out from underneath her.
Yeah, it's possible that he never even went in for revenge. He was just going in. Well, no, he did plan a bunch of shit to, like, steal the suit. Yeah, he was trying to murder.
Yeah, I think he was trying to kill her. So, like,
and she pushed him away in self-defense.
Yeah, so she's so far, I'm not saying she did the right thing to try to cover up.
Oh, I mean, at
crime,
first
but
it was involuntary manslaughter, and then it goes to, all right, you covered it up though, right?
Yeah,
like,
you still get in trouble for that.
That's a big no-no.
Murder, it's a big no-no.
I think that, like, unfortunately, like Salmonella, I would too like to be pushed around by Miss Vasquez.
I have, I don't know. Where's that whip lady from game 2?
Yeah,
You
game
know-
2. We'll get there.
You know where she is. She's at the end of the finish line.
We have to keep moving.
This is a fucking triathlon, and we're still the first goddamn bit, and you're like, can't wait for the second bit. It's tasty.
So let's get to some of the wrap up here then.
I don't know. I feel like thinking about what Tiago is saying about being excited for something else happens when anybody gets into a game late.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, that's fair.
I'm
I
not
started playing Assassin's Creed after the first one had come out and the second one was getting really big, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and play the first one, and I was sitting there like, boy, I can't wait to play the second one.
You see, that actual kind of thought gives me so much stress, because my thought would simply just be, I want to run through this one as fast as possible just to get to the second one, and I'm trying to enjoy my meal here, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't bring up the clown girl the first episode, so.
Oh my god, you throw that at me, huh? Listen, I know for a fact that that's my dessert later, okay? I know that's dessert.
You eat dessert first and you tell me that regularly.
And Tiago, you have to get through so many other clowns before we even get to her.
Wait, there's
what do you
more
mean
clowns?
There's more clowns?
Yeah, every single fucking killer.
I don't like clowns. Is the secret is that I'm actually afraid of clowns.
Depends on the clown.
In game 2, there's a circus case that we're gonna have to get through.
But that's gonna be like a weird, gross clown.
This one is a dude, yeah, who's a clown in this.
It's gonna be a Mr. Salmonella all over again.
They're all gonna be it.
I don't recall him being as gross as Salmonella.
All right, well,
I don't think there are any other characters that are like as portrayed as kind of disgusting as him.
Yeah,
there are other
like
shitty
that.
characters, but he was just like straight up like ew.
Yeah, no, he was a villain and should be. I honestly, I do wish we pinned the murder on him. I think
I skipped.
He's an accomplice. He's still going to jail.
I skipped through all his dialogue as fast as possible so I wouldn't have to see his animations. Also, I am not good at. I'm dyslexic, which has caused me a couple problems. And leet speak is difficult for me. So
yeah.
I was just like, I don't understand what this man is saying, and I want him to die. So I just kind of, know.
I don't blame you. Fuck him.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You see, I did that thing again where I assumed that I have an end of a sentence and I did not. So what were you gonna say, Ben?
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, as the case wraps up, then. While the Steel Samurai is over, they decide to start up a spin-off show called The Pink Princess. And Will Powers gets to be the leading character still. Which is kind.
Wait, does that mean he's in the the Pink Princess suit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, alright, so here's my thing, right? There has to be a fucking dub over. Like, they have to do the thing where...
He talks like a robot, so they always have somebody talking over him.
Exactly. So like in the suit, the mask's face isn't moving. No. So yes. So what I'm saying is that like, I guess that would have been like kind of bizarre because I would have to imagine that in a tokusatsu you have like the character outside of the suit, which means that there is another. I would assume there is an actress outside of the suit, and then once she transforms, it is Will Powers in the Pink Princess suit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a transformation. Scenes. I think that's just how they are.
Yes, you see, that was the other thing I was thinking about, which is the fact that they just look like that. Like, there's some...
That was always my thought, but I don't know enough about... I mean, they don't really go into any details. I just assumed that that's just what they always looked at. Like, the Steel Samurai doesn't transform. It's always just, there he is, the Steel Samurai.
Exactly. That's... So I'm going off of my knowledge of, like, the two series that does have like a lot of transformations, which is Sentai.
It's making this is definitely making me think back to the way I was thinking when I first saw this stuff, because I didn't watch like Power Rangers or stuff like that, and I didn't know anything about Kamen Rider or anything like that when I played through this the first time. Like that stuff didn't even occur to me, like transformation scenes or changing suit scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's like the most iconic part of Tokusatsu, the fact that like we have transformations. Stuff like that. The reason I bring this up is because I just like to think that the female actress who gets to play the role is Penny Nichols, and then outside of her, and then when she transforms, they say cut. she runs off the stage, and then they say action, and Will Powers is there in the suit.
Right.
I'd love that for them.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I want Pinnacle. I assume we're never gonna be able to watch the Pink Princess. That's not, oh, you know what? You're right. Will Powers could be accused of murder once again.
Lots of characters get accused of murder multiple times in the escape.
Ben, I have to do a full confession here. You've retweeted a piece of art recently that had Miles Edgeworth as the main focus, but in the back, I saw fucking Wendy Oldbag. I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of characters come back.
Wendy Oldbag comes back?
Lots of characters come back.
Her back.
God, I miss her.
She made me laugh. I want her back, and I know she's gonna be back because
lots
I've
of characters
seen her
come
before.
back. Many characters get accused of murder multiple times in multiple games. There is one game where one character gets involved in a murder 2 times in the same game.
They call me the 2-time accused.
Literally 2 cases back to back.
That's unfortunate
in the timeline. It's very funny. So
I think what I wanted to say is simply just like poor fucking Edgeworth has to deal with Wendy Oldbag once again. His true nemesis, not Phoenix Wright.
It's what he deserves.
That's true. That's straight up correct. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say to wrap this up.
Speaking of what he deserves, Edgeworth, the next case is going to be very Edgeworth focused.
I'm so excited.
And in the very final scene of this case here, Edgeworth walks right up to Phoenix after court and looks at him and says, it would have been better if we had never met.
You make me have feelings.
Yeah, thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary ... feelings.
Which I've gotta say is not a thing that's not very straight.
It's not a very straight thing to say.
Also, him being like, I don't know how to make small talk, you do it, was very funny. I was like, come on, buddy.
Miles Edgeworth once again showing the true faults of what it's like to be an introvert.
I like him.
Yeah,
I think if you like Edgeworth stuff, if you're anticipating and interested in Edgeworth content, oh boy, do I have a case for you. And that is the next case.
I'm so excited. I knew that I would love him. And so, like, I know that some of it is probably just, like, the placebo effect, where everyone's like, you're gonna love this character. So I do. But also, I do love him. My feelings are real.
You can't just have your friends build a character up for you because they love you so much they want you to know about this character, and then let them down.
My taste is predictable. And that's not a bad thing, I think.
I saw the preview image, and I saw that fucking parrot. I can't wait for him.
Oh, the parrot? I've seen the parrot.
I saw the preview image for the next case, and I saw Miles Edgeworth, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be his case. And then I saw fucking the thing to the left of his head, and it was that fucking bird, and I was like, I understand now.
I've seen
my third eye is open.
I've seen a scene from the movie, and I think the parrot tells us if it's Christmas or not. I don't know.
The parrot.
I love this. This is great.
This is good.
I hope that everyone gets a kick out of how little I know, because
the parrot.
The parrot's gonna tell me Merry Christmas.
The parrot is Santa Claus. And he
Aww.
does have the spirit. I mean, honestly, that's not a fucking outside possibility. Santa Claus might be fucking real because there's goddamn spirit mediums.
That's true. I hope that we get to defend Santa Claus.
Here's something I can tell you all. You will see Santa Claus.
Yes.
Next case.
Understandable.
My arms are reaching up to the sky. I'm so
to
excited.
give Santa my energy for Christmas.
And when you meet Santa Claus, you will be very excited to see him.
Why are you pausing?
Like Edgeworth is Santa Claus.
I was trying to decide how much I wanted to reveal, and I decided to opt on revealing less.
Less is good. I don't want to know things because the little I know, it like I can't connect anything together. So the less I know, the less dots I can connect, and the more surprised I'll be.
Oh, I'm just gonna make a call shot right here now. Santa fucking did it. Killed it. Santa did it. He's the killer.
I think that Edgeworth is Santa, and we're gonna have to defend him in court. From
case 4 is where
Santa.
When I played this game for the first time, like I did like the game as I was playing through it. I was like, oh, okay, I get this. It was one of the first types of games like this that I had played at that age, and so. But case 4 was where it really clicked, and I went as I wrapped up case 4, I was like, fuck yes, I love this shit. And then the game's over normally. But then because it's the DS edition and they have added a case now, you get a whole nother case after this. And then I went on to be like, okay, I immediately have to go out and pick up game 2,
Yeah.
And keep going. So I think it's
when
where
I
a
bought
lot of things.
When I bought the game, I bought 1 and 2 together.
Smart.
Because they were both out at the time.
Smart.
I think this is where things really cohere a lot.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really having a delightful time. I might bitch and moan about being bad at reading comprehension, but I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Again, these are older games. There's still some things that won't age well, but I think the highs that they do hit really well.
Oh yeah, love a good court case. I will kill Salmonella on site.
Oh
yeah, be prepared for 3 days again. Here.
All right, now this time I'm gonna be ready. The holidays are a difficult time for me. The reason I know that Santa is real is because I'm actually an elf in Santa's workshop, and so I'm very busy all the time. And I also have a ginormous family, which I'm not even seeing most of them this year for some reason or other. I don't know why, but it's still enough people that it fucks my schedule all up.
Well, we're taking a little bit of time off for the holidays here. This episode will be airing to everybody on January 4th, I believe, if I have my dates correct. So by the time we're recording this before Christmas, and we're going to be playing this case case 4 over Christmas. So it will be literally perfect timing for us to be playing through case 4. But unfortunately, you will be hearing this after the fact in January.
All right.
So, but we hope that y'all will understand, because I'm not putting together a whole bunch of podcasts over the holidays. Is all. So, but yeah, no, I hope your holidays go well, Rose, as part of the extended contractor network for Santa.
Yeah. It's a wild year.
We'll get ready for a miracle in the court.
But the parrot will help us.
The parrot is Krampus.
Yes!
Maybe.
I love the parrot.
I'm getting a parrot and I'm naming it Krampus.
That's actually I would love to see a parrot named Krampus.
Krampus the parrot is the murderer.
That's a pretty good name for a parrot, I'd say.
Yeah. Wait, okay, maybe Edgeworth is Santa and he gets murdered by Krampus the parrot, and then
Maya channels him.
Maya gets framed again.
Jeez, the speculations are powerful.
It's just Maya, but she's wearing a cravat instead.
Yeah, and she's also been framed for the crime.
Yeah, her cravat gets bigger,
and
then
we have to prove that the parrot did the murder, and it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and the parrot will tell us which one it is. That's my prediction.
Tune in next time.
Yeah, tune in next time to see if Rose and Tiago's predictions come true. How much they've hit dead on the head of the nail, or how much we're gonna be surprised by. Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. This week, folks. You can follow the show on Twitter @AceAttorneyPod. and stay up to date on the latest episodes, as well as streams and YouTube uploads of Dessy and I playing through the game. You can follow me on Twitter at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you online?
Yes, this is Des on Twitter. All one word.
And Tiago, where can people find you?
They can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on Twitter.
And how about Rose?
You can find me at Trauma Arts on Twitter.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next episode, we'll be tackling 1-4, which is titled Turnabout Goodbyes, which, as we just talked about, is going to be Edgeworth-focused and Christmas-themed. So I think that'll be a real fun one if you're playing along. It's the perfect time to play. So we will hopefully see you all then. Until then, take care and donate to your local mutual aid fund.
Yay!
Yeah, donate!